What's up, horror fans? Welcome to another new episode of the Horror Bin Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Fernandez. We're here to give you our recommendations, reviews, and rankings of your next horror movie for movie night. Yay! And it is Pride Month. I believe this episode's coming out at the very tail end of Pride. We just made it. But we got a special episode. One that I'm really excited to talk about it. I'm really excited the guest we have today. It's Rachel Scanlon.
Hi. Oh my God. I'm so glad to do this. I'm so glad to get to listen to your voice for this whole podcast.
Everyone should be so lucky.
That's so good.
Rachel, again, thank you so much for doing the show. What's your experience with horror?
I, for the longest time, was anti-horror.
Anti-horror? Okay.
I was very fearful. Raised in the church, scared. Then
what kind of church?
Lutheran, Christian, yeah, strong Jesus freak, lots of crucifixes, and then something. I stumbled drunk into a movie theater in the Midwest, and I saw The Conjuring.
Oh, okay.
So that was my first dabbling into it, and I went, holy shit!
Yeah.
And I got obsessed with specifically demonic possessions for my, there's a ton of different types of horror movies, as you know. And I got just like completely sucked into like and I wonder if it's like the antidote to my religious upbringing is like a demon movie. I want a succubus. I want a nun. Like I want all of that shit. And I started just like really liking it. And I also got so into comedy. We spent so much time making people laugh in comedy clubs, watching comedy, that all I really want to do in my free time is like watch like deeply disturbing horror movie.
I hear you. Yeah. There's something, because it's the same with me. Like I'm not a big fan of like demons as the villain in horror movies. Yeah. But also like I've over time, same thing, brought up Catholic, Mexican, super religious, Filipino church, a lot of popping and locking. For
the Lord, though.
Listen, that choir, on point. Yeah. All right? That choir killed it. But same thing, grew up really religious, didn't really have like any kind of like fear mongering, like in terms of like God is watching you and he's angry at everything you're doing. But like just naturally like kind of grew out of it, grew like just like, you know what? I don't think blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But same thing, like I kind of look at it just like, I don't like giving legitimacy to, we got to beat this with Christ.
Right.
But I mean, fucking slashers, B movies, fucking zombies. I'm all for.
It's just so much fun.
Yes,
the whole thing. I feel like I used to be like, oh, who would want to be scared? But there is such a thrill and release to horror films that is like it takes you to another place.
Yeah,
it is like a really fun way to like get it out and unwind.
Yeah, I think there's this movie, Robin Williams movie called 1 Hour Photo.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching it as a kid for some reason. We just had we had Blockbuster days for my family, so we'd rent up some movies. That was just one we rented because it was like Robin Williams, right? And we watched it, and I just remember there's one scene where he's in an aisle and his eyes open, it's bloodshot. He's like, ah! I was like, ah! But even though it's more like a crime thriller-ish movie, that was just like, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
But also kept on reassuring me like, yeah, comics can do drama and horror.
Absolutely. I think there are so many comics that I know that are deeply into horror, or even that like just like fucked up documentaries like we want. Yeah. And like we can do it. We can do it all.
Again, Robin Williams, in my opinion, the GOAT.
For real.
My Mount Rushmore.
For sure.
One of the best dramatic as well as comedic actors. It's wild.
It's insane.
But a good blend of comedy and horror is the movie we're watching today. Yes. We are doing Jennifer's Body, 2009 film. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer. And this is one of those movies, I'm prefacing this, like I told you before, this is one of those movies we got to talk a little about the marketing, the trailer and everything, because there's some stuff to tell. But let's take a look at the trailer.
Fuck. Already I'm sold.
And I'm in. There's one girl. Every girl wants to be friends with.
Wear something cute, okay?
You always do what Jennifer tells you to do.
It's just that I like the same things that she likes.
And every guy
you look really pretty.
would die for.
That's the angle?
Really your house, is it?
We can play mommy and daddy.
No way.
Oh my god.
Damn.
We share your bed when we have slumber parties.
Jennifer's evil.
I know.
No, I mean, she's actually evil. Not high school evil.
Wow.
Really cute
I'm
too,
glad they
Mommy.
kept that
How
scene.
is he tasting these days?
You are never a good friend. You could have anybody
Yeah,
that
this
you
is
want. I
all.
can't.
This is peak Megan Fox era.
This is so fucking good. The cast.
Kill
Yeah.
boys. Are you scared?
Thought you only murdered boys.
I guess I go both ways.
I
Oh, fuck.
will finish you if I have to. Okay. You can barely finish gym class.
Hell fucking yeah, dude.
Panic at the Disco.
Look at that soundtrack. Panic at the Disco, Little Boots, All Time Low, White Lies, Dashboard Confessionals, Cobra Starship.
Silver Sun Pickups.
That's a fucking banger.
That's such a. I bought the soundtrack on CD
Oh, yeah.
to put in my '94 Corolla. Obviously, I mean, I have.
Rachel, we get it. You're gay.
So I didn't literally, Julian. I had to buy this on DVD multiple times because it got stolen from my Corolla one time.
I
Somebody
thought you were
broke
going to say
it.
you wore it out.
I wore it. I remember
Wore
watching-
out the DVD. I didn't know
Watching
you
the
could do
kiss
that.
scene for so long that there's scratches on it. It literally got stolen from my Corolla because I used to not leave my house without a copy of the DVD.
Oh, the DVD?
Yes.
That's just in case.
Just in case
Just like, we should watch a movie. I know which one.
Yes. I needed it on hand.
Run to my car.
People weren't like streaming yet. I was like 2008. This movie came out in the September after I came out of the closet.
Oh.
So I came out in 2007.
So this movie was just like, it was
Oh.
ready for you.
I was not ready for Jennifer's body, but it like consumed every part of my being. I mean, I know every line, I know every beat of this film.
It's so fun. I was re-listening to another friend's podcast, also horror podcast, Friends of the Pod, Paige Wesley. I was listening to their Jennifer's Body episode.
Yes.
And same thing. I'm like, after rewatching and then just re-listening, I'm like, yeah, there's so many like just good fucking lines in this movie.
It's Diablo Cody in Diablo Cody's era.
It's the most underrated Diablo Cody movie.
Absolutely. I mean, when this movie came out, people had no idea
Yeah.
what to do with this movie. People hated it.
Because everyone thought it was going to be it's another Juno or
Right.
something like that. But then again, the marketing really let them down because it made it look like, oh, it's a horror movie, but it's all about Megan Fox's body. Which, I mean, let's be honest, this is kind of is.
Okay, part of it, yes, but that
there's more to it than just.
so much more.
Yeah.
It's not
made for men.
exactly. That trailer was very male gazing, and it didn't even do the thing that you would think it would do, which would be to tease that kiss.
Right. And then even when we have stuff like
The poster.
it's her in a schoolgirl outfit.
I mean, this looks very much like the same cover as Bad Teacher with
There's-
like Cameron Diaz. Like this is not the movie that you're about to sign up for.
Yeah. I love the tagline. She's evil, not just high school evil. I fucking love it.
And like, you know what sucks is that people, I now always say this when it comes to Megan Fox, people really were confused. People still are confused. And you see this in comedy all the time when you have like women in comedy or just like people that are, or even like hot femmes, like
Yes.
lesbian femmes in comedy. And people are almost upset, don't understand why they're funny.
Like they're immediate mad just because they're attractive. when they
Attractive
get on
and then being
stage.
like people, because people didn't get that like every single line that Megan Fox gives in this movie is hysterical.
It's so funny. Everything's so funny.
People don't get it because they're like, am I supposed to be scared or am I trying to get horny?
Here I am with my dick in my hands and I
Right.
can't.
And it's like, it's so, yeah. I mean, the bisexual succubusness
Yes.
of this film is just, I don't think that people realize. Is this another trailer going?
No, that's the same trailer. But just for those that don't know about Jennifer's Body, came out in 2009, directed by Karen Kuwasama. and written by Diablo Cody. This she wrote before Juno.
Yeah.
She wrote this before Juno, but they made Juno first, and then they gave her the green light to
do
like,
this weird one.
you have a winner. You had that winner, so go ahead and do what you want. Cool. I want to do this.
I fucking love that when she's like given her green light,
Mm-hmm.
what comes out of that she's writing for is the Jennifer's Body movie, the horror comedy.
We did Lisa Frankenstein not too long ago, also written by Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
Zelda Williams directed, but same thing. She has this way of writing, and the at least for Jennifer's Body and Lisa Frankenstein, they have that early 2000s, late 90s immediate cult vibe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, because I grew up with a cousin who was like, had a Cats poster on the wall, Cats DVD, would like just like when babysitting would just show us Moulin Rouge and all this stuff, which might be her fault that I am the way I am. But like this movie and again, Lisa Frankenstein gave off that vibe of like, this feels like this does feel late 90s, early 2000s.
I remember feeling like when this came out, this was the first time where you're hearing dialogue that you feel very much is like how your friends would speak with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of what I think Diablo Cody really like. And when I'm from the Midwest, specifically Minnesota, went to college in Wisconsin. That's where she bases like all of her movies.
Yeah.
So Devil's Kettle, right, where they have placed Jennifer's town in Jennifer's Body, is very much based off of Devil's Lake, which is in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And when they, in the end of the movie, they're like, take me east towards Madison. You're referencing all the license plates are from Minnesota. So you like, when you're a Midwest dyke, and you're already have fallen in love with the way that Diablo Cody does like young people speaking.
Yeah.
The kind of like, also like every line delivered straight, but it is like an insane thing that you're hearing. It's very exciting to see. You know, at this point, I'd probably only seen 14 films. None of them were horror, and none of them had two girls kissing, unless it was very much for like, you know,
the male gaze.
Yes.
Unless it was wild things.
Exactly. It literally wild things, and you're like, I'm not quite.
Like there's still a reason as to why they're making out, but the way it's shot, the way it's presented is specifically, well, we want guys to get in.
Dude, very porny, very like.
And this one, even though there is a make out scene and everything for them, it's not even that long, but it's not it's not shot, and it's not made, and it's not. The context isn't for this. This is for the boys.
Well, and like that, because I just watched it. I watched half of it last night. Got too horny, fell asleep. Woke up, had to finish the movie this morning.
Tuckered out.
I said I can't even handle an ounce more of this film. But my favorite, I love to wake up at like 7 a.m. And go for a run and watch a horror movie. It's kind of like my routine.
Oh, okay.
And I was watching it, and I mean, I watch it all the time. I watch it every October. I watch it when I'm sad. I was my hookup movie through all of college.
Yeah.
Anytime like I was attracted to somebody, I wouldn't take them on dates. I had no money. I'd be like, come to my dorm room and watch Jennifer's Body. I know right when the kiss scene is. I know right when I'm going to kiss you.
Yeah.
And
you know when to start planting the seeds to just lead up to like, oh, well, they're kissing.
It's also like,
don't want to be awkward in the room. Should we?
Should we? Like, I mean, Megan Fox is doing it. Like, should we do it? It's also like, I know it's like, you know, something fun, like to cozy up. You're scared. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know, the mood is very like, let me protect you. LOL. I'm like tiny. But it's like, it worked for so long. But like the kiss that happens, I remember because we've seen the wild things. We've seen the cruel intentions.
Yeah.
And feeling like,
oh, have we?
Yeah, and I'm sure. And when you're like a young queer kid, you know how it feels straight. It feels like it's for these aren't like queer. It's not like a queer moment.
Yes. Kissing, yeah.
Well, and two like straight people for straight men to watch. The way they shoot it, all of it. You know, the spit, you get it. But something about even the dynamic that they had with each other before the kiss happens was so of my experience as a closeted lesbian who was in love with their best friend, who I've been so close with.
This answers like 5 questions I had lined up. I was literally going to be like, have you ever had this experience?
Oh.
Which, I mean, in the back of my head, I'm like, of course Rachel has had this experience.
Of course, my whole life. And that's what I hadn't had the buildup of these characters being friends since the sandbox. They keep flashing back to them as kids.
Yeah.
Even the dialogue within that kiss is like, do you want to play boyfriend and girlfriend like we used to? Even like the intimacy of how close, like even Chip being jealous of Needy and Megan's friendship, not Megan, LOL, Jennifer, like their closeness, even like everyone kind of around them being like, well, they're always together. Like their kiss that we saw, we knew that they had kissed before.
Yeah.
And even that made it so much more like erotic. And when I watched it at the very first fall after I came out, I just couldn't believe that somebody wrote that into a movie. I literally was like, Diablo Cody wrote this for me.
She was waiting for me to come out, and this is my gift. This is my reward.
I was like, this is my gift for coming out when my dad is the president of my church. Now I get Jennifer's body.
Yeah.
And it was Midwest, and every character, even, do you remember like Roman, who is Chris Pratt?
I keep forgetting that Chris Pratt's in this movie.
Random cameo.
Random.
Well, huge cameos throughout the whole film.
Yeah, you had
the teacher with the hook for no reason.
Fucking J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Adam Brody, the Vil.
Adam Brody, Johnny Simmons, who played Chip, Amanda Seyfried, Megan Fox,
Like,
Chris Pratt.
this
Amy
movie.
Sedaris is in this movie as Needy's mom.
Yeah.
And she's in it for that much time.
It's just like they were able to, because of the success of Juno, they were able to put like a ton of really talented people in this really well-written movie.
Yeah.
And then they marketed it so weird that people couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Like at all. And I do feel like the queer community grabbed onto it. We all bought the DVD. We all bought the soundtrack, and it still has like a really special place in queer culture.
Yeah, it is one of, like I said, it like came out and it has that vibe of immediately like this is a cult classic. This is, like even when it was new, you felt like this feels like a movie that cult classic written all over it.
Yes.
Same thing with I think a lot of what Diablo Cody does, a lot of just that vibe, that humor along with the horror. It has a very almost not in the campiest way, but almost a Rocky Horror vibe to it.
Absolutely. I think you're like listening to it. It's one of those things where you're feeling like, oh, this is for the people who do get it. This is for the people who understand where the placement of the humor is going.
Yeah.
Like also it's super vibey. Like it's kind of gothy. Like she does a lot of like that type of vibe where you're going to be like, we're getting into the occult section where you're going to get stabbed, but the murderer is singing, Jenny, I've got your number. Like it's a lot of like stupid things that really work. Because I watched Lisa Frankenstein. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Diablo Cody like wrote a throwback for the people, but hasn't grown with her audience. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, this is very like, I was like, oh, I feel 17 watching it because she stays in that very much like, or maybe that's what I liked so much when I was younger. A lot of like girl on girl kissing. I was like, this is for straight adults. And any type of Diablo Cody, Jennifer's body kissing, I was like, oh, this is for like gay teens. But and I'm almost 33 and I'm still like, the way that Jennifer's body still works.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the because 2009. That's like I think I was like I don't remember what exact time of year it came out. 2009. I would have at least been junior or senior in high school. And I remember the Megan Fox era after Transformers, and everybody's just like, she's it. She's it.
She's it, and she was pinnacle of heterosexuality.
Yes.
She was made to be consumed for the male audience in every turn.
And what's great is this and Amanda Seyfried, this is their favorite movie that they've ever done. They have said like this is our favorite. And I'm so happy.
Feel it.
Yeah.
I even like God, and I think I have
because for sure it's not going to be that Machine Gun Kelly movie that she did.
Fuck no. I like when it comes to Megan Fox too. I have very little and then I'll stop talking so much. But
No,
I
you're
have
good.
very little regrets in my life. The one that I have is I used to work at this cafe, and for 2 weeks in a row, Megan Fox came in and ordered from me the same thing for 2 weeks. She must have been shooting nearby.
Yeah.
And every day I was like, if she comes in tomorrow, I will tell her how much Jennifer's body means to me. And I never did.
Dude, she probably would have. She probably would have just been like, "What are you doing later?"
She would have been like, "Oh, you cashier, why don't you come home with me, Papa?"
She just grabs her arm. She's like, "You're welcome."
I would like, I mean, because she
And doesn't walk out. She just
just-
vanishes.
she fucking eats me immediately. She succubuses me. I think because I know because of interviews how much she loves this movie, that it would, like, not every fan that she runs into is going to be like a dyke who was deeply moved by Jennifer's body.
Right.
And I'm like, that was my fucking chance. And I blew it. And every day I go, that was my moment. I live in regret.
Nah, dude. I think the time will come again.
I think
And
so.
she's just gonna be like, I've been waiting.
I feel, she must the only fans that she must feel like the most. I mean, like, how many dudes are like, "Hey, Megan Fox,
I love your craft.
hey, nice working fucking."
And that ass.
Yeah, exactly. To have a lesbian fan be like, "The way that you are so funny made me fall in love with you." Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think you're hot. Your personality, though.
Yeah. Yes. I love your lips and your whole being, your whole soul
Damn.
ignites me.
She's very like I was also at that time a bit on the like, as much as I was attracted to her, I was also on the train of like the hate for her.
Oh,
just because
sure.
same thing. At the time, I was fucking kid who didn't know shit about myself, didn't know anything else. So when it just came to just people being hot for the sake of being hot, and then same thing with comedy, even early on, there were comics, some of which I was accurate about, but
Oh my God, name names.
they're still working.
Hot for hot.
The hot for hot. Well, when the mics are off. But,
Okay, great. Yeah.
but I would have that same mentality where I'm just like, man, they're only in stage time because they're hot. They're only getting this because they're hot. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a long time to realize, like, no, Megan Fox is very talented,
Unbelievably talented.
and she has just unfortunately worked with the worst people.
She's
or
worked
the
with-
most, or the people that don't know how to
Actually, respect women enough to think that they could be hot and talented.
that and to like some people that know how to showcase her.
Yes.
And not display her.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
is the best way to put
That's
it.
a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, especially in comedy, people just cannot wrap their heads around Megan Fox being comedic.
Yes.
And that's what this movie was. And she crushed it. And also, like,
Killed it.
the relationship that those two best friends have, I'm completely bought into. The dynamic was written perfectly and performed perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, we all know the needy Jennifer Check dynamic. Like, we all went to school with girls like that.
And I like that they have the nickname is her Anna Seyfried's full name is Anita, but they shorten it to Needy because she's
so needy.
She's needy of Megan. Keep on going. She's just Megan Fox. It's so hard to disassociate it.
Yeah, Jennifer Check is definitely like, I sometimes try to think, when I first watched this movie, I was like, oh, maybe Jennifer Check means something. Or it's like, I don't know.
So apparently, and shout out to Horror Virgin, because this is where I figured it out on the way over here.
LOL.
But apparently, Check is Diablo Cody's placeholder for names.
Wow.
And they just never came up with the last name for Jennifer.
And they're like, just fucking
Just
use
check,
it.
just leave it check.
Is
Yeah.
Horror Virgin, is that Pages?
Pages.
I'm doing that later today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Shout out Paige, shout out Horror Virgin.
I literally had to watch Jennifer's Body and Immaculate, the Sydney Sweeney.
Immaculate is so good.
So crazy.
Oh my God. We talked about, it's so funny. Side tangent. It's so funny because we did so Kelly McInerney is usually on the show to do new movies because me and her go to the movies all the time together. So we went to go see Immaculate, loved it. Then we went to go see The First Omen, hated it.
Wow.
So let's do a side-by-side comparison of both movies.
Oh, wow.
Because they are literally the pregnant nun movie.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna have to go listen to that episode.
It's literally us shitting on the first Omen and praising Sydney Sweeney so hard.
I didn't know. I was gonna still watch First Omen, but now I'm like, I guess I won't.
I mean,
it looked good. It looked right up my alley.
They have some parts that it's like cool, that's good, but like by the end, I'm feeling like, am I watching like a fucking MCU movie? What is going on? This feels ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like that. Horror in general is so hard to nail.
Yes.
And I think that's maybe also like comedy. You know, when comedy is good, you're watching magic.
Yes.
And anything below that is so hard to watch. It's very similar with horror. Like you have to know exactly what it is. If you're doing horror comedy, especially, because both are such a tight rope to walk, but like bad horror is like
that balance.
Unwatchable. But like, B horror we love because we know it knows what it is. But like, it's so hard to find. Oh, I love horror movies. Anyways,
really quick, we're starting to run out of time, but that because we're having so much fun right now. This is so much fun to talk about this movie.
Because we've known each other for 45 years.
But again, for those that don't know, Jennifer's Body, a newly possessed high school cheerleader turns into a succubus who specializes in killing her male classmates. Can her best friend put an end to the horror? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, she does.
She kind of does.
Lesbians, get ready.
Oh, with that voice, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Listen, when I go down, I hum. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Rachel, like I said, we are coming close to the end of the episode. Before we wrap up, we do ratings and our rankings.
Yeah.
We do a movie rating, 1 to 10, 1 being 10 being the greatest movie of all time. Where would you put Jennifer's Body, 1 to 10?
I know. I'm trying to not. But you guys all know what I'm gonna say here.
Yeah.
But because of the place that this movie lives in my heart.
Yeah.
And the amount of action that I've gotten, I'm talking first base hard.
Watch Jennifer's Body. You will get laid.
Yeah. You might kiss it, babe. I'm going to go 10.
You're going to go 10?
I'm going to go 10.
Just as like as someone who has not gotten as much action through this movie, but has as much appreciation for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say as a movie, I'm going to give it about an 8.
Okay.
About an 8, maybe 7.5. So we'll average it out, maybe a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie. Where would you put it on the scary rating? Scary one being Hotel Transylvania, 10 being the scariest movie you've seen of all time.
Oh wow! I feel like there are some scary parts to it. The comedy does kind of help lighten it out.
Yeah.
I would maybe give it a 7.
Okay.
Like it's above average, but it's not. If there's 2 jump scares, maybe 7.2.
Okay. I was pretty dead set on an even 5.
Yeah.
Because like we were saying, it does have a good balance of comedy and horror.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just scares overall, like I feel like it does have some pops. It does have some moments where it's like genuinely like, ooh. But
Yeah.
I think
But it's pretty light.
it's pretty light on
Yeah.
terms of like the scares.
For sure.
Scare-wise. But the horror aesthetic, it's all there. Comedy's all there. It's a
Yeah.
good balance. I'm giving it a 5. And then here on the horror bin, we're having people bring in these movies to fill this horror bargain bin that I've created. So I feel like I already know where you're going to place it. So I'll do it in reverse. So for the bin, we have the 4th level, bottom of the bin. This is for like movies that probably worth seeing once, but never again.
Yeah.
3rd tier, that's for like the hidden treasures. They're good. They're not great. Or not, they're okay horror movies, but they're more hidden treasures, stuff you kind of stumble upon, maybe a couple watches here and there. 2nd is for those movies that are good, not great. And then the top tier is like you got your no problem, no brainer. This is a horror movie you got to watch for a horror movie night. Where are you putting it in the bin?
I would put it if you're like.
I'll say this before you say your answer. I know I'm solid on where I'm putting it.
You're solid. You have yours.
I don't want to make it seem like Julian makes their decision based on their guest.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I come in with an idea.
I feel like I mean, if you're like this if you haven't seen this movie and you are trying to do a group watch where you guys want to have a nice queer time and like
as the Flintstones stay, a gay old time.
a gay old time, I'm like, I would put it on the top tier because it is so rewatchable for all of the lingo. And I think like you need, and there's not very many bisexual succubus movies.
There isn't really.
And I do feel like it should be in the vault of like your top priorities.
Yeah. In terms of Pride Month, in terms of the rewatchability of it all, and the cult classic level of this movie, I agree that it belongs. I want to say, a part of me wants to say it belongs in the top level, but I want to say more of the second level because it is more so geared towards one demographic as opposed to everyone. And
it's also not as like scary. Like if you really want to be like, I am fucking watching a horror movie, this is a little genre bendy for you.
Okay. And then before we get to all the plugs and everything, what is your recommendation for the right movie night to watch this movie? Like, what is the situation, the setting that is perfect for this movie in your mind?
This movie is made one. It's a group watch in a cemetery.
I love that.
So you have it's obviously like
has Hollywood Forever ever done?
They must have, right?
They have to.
They have to do this movie because
this and the Lost Boys. Actually, Lost Boys I want to see on the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh wow,
yeah, that would be a good watch there.
I feel like certain movies like this, because it came out at such a time in a lot of millennials' awakenings, that like the group aspect of like, if you know, then you know for this film, that like the amount of people, the more people that love it, the more you're going to enjoy watching this movie. So like a group watch in a cemetery, but also if you are like newly out and you are looking for a first date, it's October. It's starting to get crisp outside. Maybe it's your second date. You've only fucked 3 women before. This is your movie to cozy up, make a mulled wine on the stove. Put a bottle of red with cinnamon sticks on your stove. Put it in goblet glasses. And throw this film on. By the 3rd act, you will be at third base. I promise you.
You guys heard it here. That's like the best description of a when to watch a movie that I've ever heard. The detail, the planning. You guys, if you guys don't put that into that plan into action, fucking virgins.
Yes,
right?
yes.
This is a starter lesbian movie for sure. That's what I got from Rachel's description.
Yes.
It's also funny because when I asked Kelly that same thing about Immaculate and The First Omen, she was like, what'd she say? She said, oh shit. No.
It's leaving your brain.
Oh, she said Easter. I said Mother's Day. But Rachel, thank you so much for bringing this movie in.
Yes.
Thank you for adding it to the bin. You got your camera here. You got a camera there, mostly here. Tell people where they can find you, what you got going on.
You can come see me. I'm headlining in Portland and Seattle in August. I have a special out called Gay Fantasies. You can get on like Apple or Prime or YouTube or wherever you go get stuff. And I have a podcast called Two Dykes and a Mic if you want to hear 2 lesbians talking shit all day. And you can find me at Rachel Scanlon Comedy, and you can find all that stuff on my Linktree, and that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And that's your second special?
Yeah, it is.
Second special, super funny. Go give it a watch. It's hilarious. Rachel's hilarious. Listen to their podcast as well. You guys can find me on all the things, Julian F. Comedy, julianfcomedy.com for all my show dates and tour dates. Follow this podcast at Horror Bin Pod on Instagram. Let us know what you thought of Jennifer's Body. Let us know about your gay awakening from Jennifer's Body. I'm really, if there's like one moment where like interaction for the show starts, I hope it's this fucking episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
But follow, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Let's build this succubus horror community together.
Yes.
Let me see. Did I forget anything? Just some quick plugs. Denver, I'll be in you guys at the end of July. Those dates will be coming out soon. And Omaha, I will be in you in September for the Omaha Comedy Festival. So come out to that as well. And I think that's about it. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought. And Rachel, again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Obsessed.
You saw how much we lit up when we saw each other right now. It's such a delight to see you.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for listening and watching. And as we say at the end of every episode, do you have a tampon? You look pretty plugged. Bye.
You look like you were plugging that fucking right.